by being in the religious. O yan. So yun yung pwede yung paglagyan, yung contemplative, contemplative life. Ayan. So sino naman sa inyo yung somehow nakikita nyo sa sarili nyo na medyo mahiyain, shy or timid? Meron ba sa inyo?
Meron kuya, si Jasmine, si Jenny.
Okay, so meron din. So
ano ko si Angelica magtataas Angelica, mahiyain.
Hindi ba? So doon sa mga mahihiyain or yung mga timid, yung introvert na sinasabi nila, so hindi yan negative in a way. So you can write a book. Normally yung mga introvert, sila yung mga wild yung imagination, yung malawak yung imagination kasi they have all the time in themselves. So you can be a writer. So you can be like maybe as good as J.K. Rowling. Kilala nyo naman si J.K. Rowling, di ba?
Yes po. Kilala ba?
Po. Yan. So sino si J.K. Rowling? Anong book siya kilala?
Harry Potter.
Yes, Harry Potter. So, pwedeng ganun yung maging profession nyo. So, yan. So, that's the topic about ourselves or our interest. So, kahit ano ang inyong mga kinahihiligan sa buhay, lahat yan ay pwede nyong magamit para mapag-isipan nyo kung ano yung gusto nyo maging profession, yung ipupursu nyo na career or profession. So, lahat yan merong bearing to what would you want in life. So, proceed na tayo sa next influencer. So yan ang ating family. So let's watch this video.
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
Recently, I heard an incredible story of the perseverance of the Pacific salmon from a nature video produced by the Moody Institute of Science. A stalwart salmon was spawned in a hatchery in Northern California, released into a channel which led to a stream, the stream to a river, and the river to the Pacific Ocean. Now, after becoming ocean-bound, the fish swam thousands of miles. Then, as if by command, he began a treacherous journey back to the place of his spawning. Not only did the fish relocate the spot where he had entered the ocean, but the river, the stream, and the exact inlet from which he had been released. Now here's the almost unbelievable part of the story. The salmon worked his way up through a drain and pushed through a heavy screened lid on top of a 3-foot vertical pipe, all to end up in the very same tank from which he was hatched. Special markings on his fin confirmed the amazing journey. As I thought about this feat, it occurred to me that there is perhaps a parallel between the early life of the salmon and the impact we as parents have on our children. Our kids are shaped forever by the love and training received at home. They will always be influenced by the experiences that characterize the family in which they are raised. It's an awesome thought.
Ayan. So siguro lahat naman tayo nakaka-relate din sa sinabi na yun na story, especially doon sa mga mahihilig manood ng Discovery Channel or BBC Earth sa YouTube. So doon na pinapakita yung journey ng salmon. So simula sa pagkabata nila hanggang sa pagbalik nila to the same place para doon naman sila manganak for the next generation. Yung importance ng family. So yun yung in-relate ng ating video. Na yung mga decisions natin sa buhay ay majorly affected or influenced by our family. So sabi dito, your family has a strong influence to any decision you make. Your exposure to them and the manner they support you to pursue whatever path you take affect your decision in many manners. So this gives confidence in your own ability to explore and select a career path that may or may not be with what your family influenced you to become. So yan, at kadalasan, especially yung mga lawyers and doctors na kilala natin or nakikita natin, normally yung mga parents nila ay ganun din yung profession kasi na-influensyahan sila. So, mangilan-ngilan lang talaga sa kanila yung talagang galing sa isang pamilya na hindi ganun yung profession. Kaya ganun yung influence na meron yung ating family. At kasama din dyan, yung mga tao whom we consider as our family. So, to those who are members of the community, especially na sa case ko, I'm a Catholic and I'm a member of the Couples for Christ ministry. So, ang ang tinuturing ko na family is before the singles were Christ and now I am in the servants of the Lord. So yun yung kinikonsider ko na family. So siguro kayo din, if you have friends, yung super close friends, so yan yung mga kinoconsider nyo na family. At kung yung iba sa kanila is yung may mga trabaho na or may profession na on their own, so sila yung somehow makaka-influence sa atin kung ano yung tatahakin natin journey, yung ipupurso natin na profession some later time. Ayan. So, next natin. So yung una, yung self or yung interest. Second is our family. So the third is our peers.
Hey friends, Nate Burke is here. Welcome back to the Daily Burke. And today we're talking about your friends. We're talking about your peers and specifically how they affect your career growth and your ability to perform. So I think it's interesting when we talk about career plans, we talk about development plans, we talk about just growth on the job. Most of us are thinking about training courses, books that we can buy, right? Executive education programs we can go to, etc. We're thinking about adding knowledge into our brain that would help us grow and become better performers. And most of the time, we're ignoring a simple thing that is surrounding us that is dramatically affecting our performance, our friends, our peers. One of my favorite studies that I've written about often starting in clinical management is a study by the Harvard Business School professor Boris Groysberg. And I'll spare you the whole explanation of the study because it would take me like 7 minutes. But the gist of the story is he found that in looking at the performance of investment analysts, people who study industries and then make recommendations to investors about what's going to happen in this industry, in studying the performance of them, found that about 60%, 60, majority, landslide, 60% of their performance was actually explained by the company resources, the connections they had, and most importantly, the peers and people that were supporting them. See, most of us think that we need to upgrade our knowledge, and yes, that is important. But if you take a look around and you look at who are you surrounding yourself with, there's a tendency in a lot of organizations, especially organizations that do stupid things like stack ranking, to want to be seen as the top performer in a group. And what that means is that you are surrounded by people who are not performing at the same capacity that you are. Take a good look at the people that are around you. Are they pushing you towards better performance? Are you the middle of that pack and there are other people that are exceeding you and that's going to motivate you? Are they giving you that help that you need to do that performance? There's a lot of things we need to do when we audit those peers. But more than anything else, in getting our performance noticed, growing our career, moving into new domains, we need to take a deep dive on who we're surrounded with and how they're affecting our performance, because it is probably a bigger piece of our performance than what we know or what we might learn in the future.
Ayan, okay. So maraming salamat sa ating foreigner na guest. So nakita natin from that video yung effect ng peers sa iyong career. So ganun din sa atin. So right now that we are discerning kung ano yung career or yung profession na ating ipupursue, so nagdedepende or somehow malaki din yung epekto ng ating kung yung pamilya nakaka-apekto sa atin, even our peers, yung mga tropa natin. Sabi nga nila, tell me who your friends are and I tell you who you are. So ganun kalaki yung epekto ng mga kaibigan natin. Kaya we really need to be wise, intelligent in choosing the friends whom we are choosing. Kasi yung mga mindsets nila, mga views in life nila, philosophies in life will be yours, especially kung wala ka pang naset na mga philosophies in life. Kaya importante na pipiliin natin mabuti yung mga kaibigan natin. So, may mga sad stories tayo na naririnig, especially ako personally, may mga sad stories sa amin, sa lugar namin dyan sa Area J, doon sa bloke namin na before may mga tropa-tropa kami dyan, mga magkakaibigan kami. But sadly, yung iba sa amin, majority of them, yung napili nila na mga kaibigan ay yung parang sabihin na lang natin, though we are not judging them, pero parang naiisip natin na yung parang walang pangarap sa buhay siguro dahil na rin, dulot na rin ng kahirapan. Kaya some of them ay yung hindi talaga nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral at yung hindi naging maganda yung naging buhay. So somehow, I know na yung factor na naka-contribute to that to happen is because of the people whom you are surrounding yourself, especially again the peers, the close friends that we have. So sabi nga dito, aside from your family, you may be spending much of your time with your peers. And in reality, especially sa mga teenagers like you, mas nakikinig kayo at mas kasundo nyo yung mga tropa nyo, yung mga kaibigan nyo more than your family. Pero again, may mga exception to the rule pa rin naman. Merong mga teenagers na very close to their families. So sabi dito, adolescence is a period when you start spending quality time with friends and classmates, influencing you in many matters. So one such influence is with your career choice. So they play an important role in aiding you or impeding you your decision in becoming what you truly want. So sometimes teenage is strong that it becomes a deciding them to continue as a group. So this may become worrisome for adolescents who do not consider factors other than peer influence. However, some also see this as a good influence, especially when peers generally consider support to individual dreams. So yan. So, kumbaga, gaya nga na sinabi ko, importante na pinipili natin ng tama yung mga tamang tao, mga tamang kaibigan natin. So, sino sa inyo, kindly raise your hands, who are familiar with the movie The Three Idiots? Pwedeng magtaas ng kamay. Yung familiar sa movie na Three Idiots. Meron ba Teacher Lani na nagtaas ng kamay?
Wala, kuya. Parang hindi pa sila familiar.
Nako, you really have to watch that movie. It is a very, very, very good movie. Three Idiots. Natagalize na rin yan. May Tagalog dub. Though mas maganda siguro kung mapakinggan nyo yung original na movie, which is in English. So it's a very good movie about three engineering students in India, kung saan yung isa sa kanila ay matalino talaga. So kumbaga, naniniwala ako that there are people who are born intelligent, and there are people who are made intelligent. So magkaiba yon. Merong mga tao na pinanganak talaga na matalino. At yung katulad ko, I know that I am made intelligent. Kumbaga may effort ako para maging matalino. So with that movie, merong isang estudyante who are born intelligent. Then the other two, yung kaibigan niya, babagsakin. Kumbaga ganun yung kanilang klase ng pagiging estudyante. Though mahirap pumasok sa engineering course doon sa school na yon, pero sila, kumbaga, mahuhusay sila in some way, pero doon sa batch nila of engineering students, sila yung lowest. Kumbaga, sila yung pinaka-slow learner among the batch. Pero yung pinakamatalino sa kanila, siya yung nag-influence doon sa mga kaibigan niya. At naniwala, yun yung pinaka-importante na nagawa nung kaibigan na yun. Naniwala siya that these two can also be and can finish engineering. So, kumbaga ganun. So, I really would suggest that you watch that movie, The Three Idiots. So, highly recommended siya. So, napakaganda ng story. At doon sa mga iyakin, gaya ko, so maganda kayo ng tissue kasi may iyak kayo. Maraming scene doon sa movie na may iyak kayo. So yan. So that's The Three Idiots. Then, so yun yung topic natin. So we're done with the self and interest, then the family, then the third, the peer or the friends that we have. The next one is the socio-economic status. So wala akong makitang video, kaya picture lang yung mapakita ko sa inyo. So socio-economic status, so it is defined as the measure of how income, education, and occupation affect an individual's social status and is typically broken into three levels: high, middle, and low. So kumbaga, sa socio-economic status, ito yung parang influensya sa atin na kung ano nga ba yung mga trabahong pangmayaman at ano yung mga trabahong pangmahirap. So yan. So kumbaga, hindi man natin ginajudge, pero yun yung reality. Yung status with yung status na i-relate sa trabaho na meron tayo. So, ano ba yung mga trabahong pangmayaman na naiisip natin? So, syempre, yung mga magastos na profession, so medical, So yan, yung mga doctors, yan yung mga masasabi natin pangmayaman na trabaho. At syempre, kasama din dyan yung mga lawyers siguro. Yan, mga pangmayamang trabaho yan. At ano naman yung masasabi natin na pangmahirap, though again, we are not judging them. So syempre, kasama dyan yung mga laborers, janitors, ayan. So yan yung mga kinoconsider ng society as mga pangmahirap na trabaho. Pero, so sinasabi natin na kahit ganun yung mga trabaho na meron sila, they still have dignity. At yun yung hindi mawawala. So wag nating mamaliitin yung mga ganung trabaho kasi they are important in the society. At pwede rin mabago yung mga buhay nila. Gaya nga ng video na napanood natin kanina. So, anong pangalan ng babae na isa siyang domestic helper sa Singapore? So, hinahanap ko yung aking kodigo. Si Ate Rebecca. So, si Ate Rebecca na domestic helper pero naging successful, naging CEO ng kanyang sariling business. So, kahit ganun yung naging profession niya initially, pero again, mababago siya. At ang nakapagbabago sa kanyang profession, gaya ng napanood natin in that video, ay yung education kasi nag-aral siya. Pinagpatuloy niya yung kanyang pag-aaral. So yan yung other factor na makaka-influence sa atin, yung socio-economic status. Then the last one, ito yung very, very influential, especially sa inyong mga millennials. So let's watch this video.
In the past, keeping up with many different connections could be a challenging task. Fortunately, social networking sites like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter have made it easier than ever to reach out and forge new connections, which are essential components of any successful job search. It's important to remember that you're not the only person looking to make new connections online. Make it easy for employers to find and connect with you across a variety of social networks by making sure you have a visible online presence. You can do this by starting meaningful discussions on your social media networks or participating in online forums. This can help you become a known voice in different communities and increase your online presence. Remember to practice discretion when sharing online, though. Whenever you apply for a job, there's a good chance your employer will try to learn more about you through social media. Embarrassing photos or negative comments about your current employer could seriously hurt your job search. Most social networks allow you to control who sees your posts and updates. Take the time to modify your privacy settings to prevent potential employers from seeing personal photos and information. You may even want to consider making a professional profile specifically for networking that includes details about your work and education history. As social media networks continue to expand, there's almost no limit to how you can incorporate them into your job search. Don't be afraid to take advantage of these powerful tools. They might just help you find your next job.
So yan. So social media or media in general. So malaki ang epekto especially sa inyong mga millennials. So consequently, multiple sources of career-related information is of utmost importance in the process of career decision-making. So this can be found on career websites. So marami pong mga websites kayo na masa-search. At mga government and private agencies, and school advocacy programs that can guide you in your career decision. So, na-recall ko nung high school ako, may pumunta sa amin na parang nag-present ng career opportunity. Pero ano naman siya, kasi Catholic school ako before, Holy Family Academy. I know you're familiar with that school in GNA Cavite. So, ang present nila sa amin is about religious life. So, pagpapare. So, sa inyo ba, Teacher Lani, meron bang mga ganun sa case nila, sa mga junior high school or senior high schools na mga nagpe-present na mga speakers encouraging them to take a profession? Teacher Lani, are you still there? Hopefully, hindi naman ako naputol.
Kuya. Ito na, nakabalik.
Okay.
Nang iwan yung internet connection.
Okay. Sige lang. So, ayun po, teacher. Meron ba sa inyong program sa school na may mga nagpe-present na mga professionals explaining kung ano yung professions nila?
Career talk lang, kuya. Yung mga representative ng universities and colleges.
Okay. Yeah, which is good. Kasi at least nabibigyan kayo ng idea kung saang school kayo magpunta at kung ano yung specialty ng schools. So, kasi malaki rin po yung bearing ng school para sa ating profession na kukuhanin. So, sabi dito, so we can visit or view the website na pwede tayong ma-inform on the in-demand or hard-to-fill jobs and the emerging industries and other information which will help us broaden our career information. So kasi importante yun nga na we have an informed choice of our career para at least alam nyo, kumaga parang alam nyo yung tatahakin yung gera. Nakahanda kayo dun sa tatahakin yung gera, kumbaga. Pero masaya po. Masaya siya. Hindi siya yung nakakatakot. Somehow, yes, may konting fear, especially kapag bago lang kayo. Pero as you go along, matututo rin kayo at may enjoy kayo, especially kung ang pipiliin yung profession is really what you like, what you really want for yourself. Or as you go along, is napamahal na rin sa inyo. So kasi may mga instances din na gano'n na initially, hindi mo gusto yung profession, pero later on, naisip mo na, mahal ko pala itong profession ko na to, na trabaho na to or business na to kasi ito yung gusto ko, yung nagpapasaya sa akin. So, may mga ganun tayong mga stories. So, one of the media platforms kung saan pwede tayong makakuha ng information about career or profession is syempre sa atin sa government. Sa Pilipinas, we have DOLE. So, familiar naman tayo sa DOLE. Magtaas ng kamay. Yung familiar sa DOLE? May nag-raise ng hands ba, teacher?
Meron, kuya.
Ayan, okay.
Joanne, si Bianica, si Jasmine.
Ayan. So DOLE means Department of Labor and Employment. So DOLE is a national government agency, hindi yung sa pinya, mandated to formulate and implement policies and programs, and serves as the policy advisor arm in the field of labor and employment. It envisions that every Filipino worker attains full, decent, and productive employment. So, makikita nyo sa inyong module, yung copy ng module nyo, yung website, at pwede nyo naman siyang i-search sa Google. So, www.dole.gov.ph. So, yan. So, another agency of the government na pwedeng makatulong sa atin in our career or profession is the Bureau of Local Employment. So the BLE focuses on the local employment promotion and administration. So it can be accessed through the website www.ble.dole.gov.ph. So ano ba yung mga programs under BLE or the Bureau of Local Employment? So Project Jobs Fits. So Project Jobs Fit is an automated job and applicant matching system which aims to fast-track job seekers' search for jobs and employers' search for human resource. So it was carried out to provide efficient employment facilitation services and respond to the prevailing skill and job mismatch underlying the unemployment and underemployment problems in the country. So kumbaga, with this system, website ay matutulungan tayo na mahanap kung ano yung fit sa atin, especially with the profession that we will be taking sooner in college or university. So, yan. So, next, ano pa yung pinoprovide ng BLE? Labor market information. So, data about labor supply and demand, earnings, employment and unemployment statistics, job outlook, and demographics of the labor force make up what is known as labor market information. So, kumbaga dito nyo makikita kung ano yung mga in-demand na mga professions or careers para alam nyo na, ito pala yung in-demand, ito na yung kukuhanin ko. So, yan. So, ngayon pa lang, mag-guide na kayo na ito yung kailangan kong kuhanin kasi in-demand siya. So, mga statistics. So if you are into math, somehow may interpret nyo yung mga statistics. Pero actually, kahit titingnan nyo naman siya, ma-appreciate nyo na kung ano yung pinapakita ng mga statistics. Makikita doon kung ano yung mga popular na mga jobs or professions sa Philippines at kung ano yung mga hindi, para at least yung makikita nyo doon, kumbaga yung kahalagahan or yung importance ng mga hindi masyadong in demand na professions, yung iba risk taker, yun yung kinukuha para at least konti lang yung competition. So yun, ganun yung strategy nila. Pero yung iba naman, may mga tao na mas pinipili yung mga in-demand na professions para at least madaling makahanap ng trabaho. So it's either, whichever way. Doon ka ba sa risk taker or doon ka sa medyo relax lang. So kahit ano doon, pasok pa rin tayo. So another one is the Field Job Net. So Field Job Net is an internet-based job and applicant matching system. So same thing with JobsFit, which aims to fast-track the job seeker search for jobs and the employer search for manpower. So it is a facility of the Philippine Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE, with centralized database maintained by the BLE. So there are career information guides available for students. So gaya nyo nga, na ngayon ay kung wala pa kayo maisip, you can go to this website. Job seekers and career advocates or guidance counselors, such as the training manual, labor market trends, and career guidance advocacy program. So using Field Job Net is easy. You just have to sign up with your email address or sign in using your Facebook or LinkedIn account. So sobrang talaga siya, high-tech. So there is also a search bar available to easily search for your preferred job location, industry, company, and job title. So, yun. So, yun yung ino-offer ng government natin. We have the DOLE and the BLE with JobsFit, Field JobsFit, Project JobsFit, and the Field JobNet. So, yun. Kumbaga, ngayon pa lang, nung generation namin, hindi pa uso to eh. Kaya sariling effort kami sa paghahanap ng profession namin. Pero kayo, as millennials, we have the internet. So, doon pa lang, makakatulong na sa pagsisearch ng profession or career na gusto nating kuhanin. So sabi rin dito, aside from the government agencies offering information of in-demand jobs and other professions where you may build your career choices, there are also information on emerging industries, which refers to industrial sectors that grow at a rate faster than the economy. So this exhibits potential and may give you influence in your decisions. The emerging industries depend on the locality and level of industrialization of a certain place. So yan. So ang ibig sabihin nung binasa ko na paragraph, so meron tayong mga emerging industries. So nung time namin, sometime in siguro 2000 onwards, so nag-boom yung BPO industry. Kaya marami sa amin talaga ang nag-try ng call center as a profession. So, at marami doon ang naging successful. So, kumbaga, since ang call center, walang masyadong specific na profession na makakapasok sa kanila, they cater everyone. So kaya madali sila na nag-boost yung call center or BPO industry. So with the current pandemic, ano naman yung nauuso ngayon? I don't know if you are aware. Ang nauuso ngayon is yung mga work from home industries. So yan yung nauuso ngayon. At uso pa rin ngayon yung since we are into internet na, so yung mga computer enthusiast dyan, so yung mga gamer, so kayo yung mga trend, kumbaga parang maiayon nyo lang yung interest nyo, kasi magagamit nyo yung mga skills nyo maiayon lang ng tama. So yung tinatawag na theory of replacement. So if you are into computer games, pwede mo naman yung i-divert into something productive. So maybe you can make your own game. So marami ding mga yumayaman because of that, na nagke-create sila ng sarili nilang computer game. At marami ding sumisikat because of YouTube, 'di ba? Yung mga vloggers. So yung pagiging vlogger, profession na rin siya. Merong mga kumikita ng milyon because of vlogging. At yung sumikat din years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, yung TikTok, 'di ba? So sino sa inyo may mga TikTok account? Magtaas ng kamay. Teacher Danny, meron bang mga nagtaas ng kamay, umamin na may mga TikTok accounts?
Meron po yan.
Ayan.
Si David, si Leanne, si Jack.
So yan kasi talaga yung generation nyo, mga millennials. You are really inclined into that kind of interests or activities yung social media. So that can be a profession as well. So yan. So marami talagang nag-emerge na mga professions ngayon, especially with the pandemic. Kaya kumaga hindi matatapos talaga yung learning. Matututo tayo sa mga developments. Kasi nag-a-adjust naman tayo. That is what we are made of. Yun yung kagandahan sa pagkaka-create sa atin ng Panginoon because we are adaptable and we are flexible to whatever is happening around us. So, at marami ding mga job sites that we can visit. Like sa case namin ng mga OFWs, we have workabroad.com. So, that is a legit website na pwede nyo rin mabisita. You can create an account using your personal email. Then we have jobstreet.com, pinoyjobs.com. So marami pong job sites. And make sure na yung website na pupuntahan nyo, it is valid and legal. Kasi marami din pong mga scammers na lumaganap, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, actually sa buong mundo po yan. So yan. Tapos, ano pa? So para magkaroon kayo ng idea somehow kung ano nga ba yung profession na tatahakin nyo, so ililay down ko sa inyo yung mga options. So pag-isipan nyo kung gusto nyong tahakin itong mga professions na ito or you can stick to whatever you have in mind right now, especially kung supported na kayo ng family nyo. So nag-search ako sa Google at ito daw yung mga top jobs. Yan, top jobs of the future since kayo yung magiging labor force in the future, resources in the future. Ito siguro yung pwede nyo makonsider. So number 1, cyber security expert. Yan, so yung mga mahuhusay sa computer dyan, ito siguro yung pwede nyo i-consider. Sikat ito, especially nga sa mga viruses, computer viruses na meron tayo. So importante ito yun, cyber security. Tapos, robotics engineer. So sobrang uso na rin ito, especially sa mga nagpo-produce ng mass production ng pagkain, yung mga nakabalot. So yan, so mass production, so robotics naman yan. So nurses, so yan, very pa rin po, very updated pa rin, or in pa rin ang pagiging nurse, especially abroad. Dahil kilala ang mga Filipinos, because we put our heart in our work, especially sa mga nurses, may puso sa paglilingkod. So yan. So ano pa, software developer. Tapos, yung mga user experience designer. So, again, ito yung mga inclined talaga sa computer. Kayo talaga yung mga mag-stand out in the future. Pero, kasama pa rin yung mga carpenters and joiners. So, sa mga first world countries, like US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, yung mga kinukuha po nila is yung mga blue-collar jobs. Sana tama ako ng description. So, sila yung mga carpenters, electricians, plumbers. Ayan yung mga kinukuha nila ng mga first world countries. Kaya in demand pa rin yan. At malalaki po yung sahod ng mga yan. Mas malalaki pa sa sahod namin. Then, data analyst or data analyst. At kasama din sa list yung sports coach. So, if you really love sports, pwede yung alamin everything about that sport that you love and you can be a coach. So, in demand din daw po yan in the future. So, sabi dito, yung top 10 highest paying jobs in the Philippines. So I think some of you will love this. So top 10 highest paying jobs in the Philippines as of 2019. So aircraft pilots, navigators, and flight engineers. So eto sobrang, witness ako dito na malalaki yung sahod nila. Pero medyo magastos din yung kanilang profession, yung mga pilots at mga engineers. Yan. So next, securities and finance dealers and brokers. Yan, mga financial analysts and all. Yan, somehow yun din yung sana extra inclination naming mga accountants, pero bihira lang din talaga yung nangangarir sa pagiging securities and finance dealers and brokers. Then, pasok yung mga civil engineers. So, malalaki rin po yung sahod nyo, mga civil engineers. Actuaries. So, ito yung mga nag-estimates ng mga lote or what have you, marami yan, mga actuaries. Then computer programmers, system analysts and designers, computer engineers, accountants and auditors, yun, kasama pa rin pala kami sa malaki yung sahod, pero parang hindi ko masyadong nararamdaman. Then production supervisors and foremen, and statisticians. Ayan. So, mga magagaling sa math dyan, so you may consider to be an statisticians para sa pagsusurvey at paggawa ng mga statistics. Kasi importante yun sa decision making, especially ng mga higher ups, mga statistics. So yan. So ano pa? So yun yung highest paying jobs in the Philippines. Mag-proceed naman tayo sa highest paying jobs in the world. Yan. Ano nga ba yung mga malalaki yung sahod sa mundo? So, neurosurgeons. Ayan, so mga medical field na to. Neurosurgeons sa utak, anesthesiologist, software developers, pasok pa rin yung mga software developers, chief executive, syempre, dermatologists, so yan, especially yung mga mahilig sa skincare dyan, masyadong vain sa katawan, so pasok kayo, you just have to replace that. So yung pag-aalaga nyo sa katawan nyo, especially sa mga balat nyo, pwede nyo siyang tumi-interest at maging dermatologist. Then physical therapists, yan, financial analysts, at mga translators or interpreters, yung mga mahilig sa language, especially kayo ngayon, mga millennials, especially sa Pilipinas, you are into K-pop at mga Korean novelas, so pwede nyo karirin so pwede nyo karirin yan at later on, magamit nyo rin in your profession as interpreters or translators. Ayan. So yun. At sa case naman namin, mga OFWs, allow me to share with you these pictures. Ayan, so the highest paying jobs for OFWs. This is an article back in June 22 of 2018. So ito daw yung 25 countries with the highest number of OFWs. So number 1 is United States. Sunod po kami, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Then Canada, Malaysia, UAE. So UAE, nandyan ang Dubai. So alam ko, kilala nyo ang Dubai. Then Abu Dhabi is part of that. Then Japan, Australia, Italy, China, Singapore. Ayan, alam ko, boost din ng OFW sa Singapore. UK or London, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, so mga Middle East countries po yan. Taiwan, Puerto Rico, Greece, Republic of Korea, France, New Zealand, Oman, Jordan, Lebanon, Spain, and Israel. Kaya sa Israel, medyo madaling makapasok po dyan dahil wala tayong required na visa. Pero I don't know kung iba yung processing pagka magtatrabaho sa Israel. So yan. Then, let me share with you yung highest paid profession. So the Middle East, kung saan kasama po ako. So pediatrician, so medical field ulit, general physician, orthopedic doctor, dental hygienist, so dentists, dermatologist, and nurse. Yan, nurse talaga hindi mawawala sa Middle East yan. So sought after industries in the Middle East, engineering. Yan, sikat din po yung mga engineers dito because marami po construction dito, construction work. General work, so yung mga admins, yan kasama dyan. And then food and beverage or restaurant service. Nakilala rin tayong mga Filipino kasi nga we serve with smiles on our faces and we serve with love and healthcare. So yan. Next, Asia Pacific. So, ni-research ko na ito kung ano yung makasama sa Asia Pacific. Parang kasama dyan ang Singapore nga ba? Or Malaysia? Or basta somewhere in Asia. Asia Pacific, search na lang sa Google kung ano-ano yan. So, engineer, IT professionals, and nurse. So, palaging pasok yung nurse. So, ano yung mga sought after industry? So, general work, so mga admin work, engineering related, manufacturing, production, operations. So, alam ko may mga factory workers tayo na pinapadala in Taiwan. So, ano pa ba? Ano pa ba yung mga lugar na may mga factory workers? Then, IT related. And the United States, ang number 1 na maraming OFWs. So, shipmaster, so yung mga seaman dyan, seaman to be and seawoman, mga seafarers. So, chief engineer, chief officer, especially for engineers. The nurse, tingnan nyo, pasok na naman yung nurse. And sea-based officers. So, mga sought-after industries, engineering pa rin, sea-based engineering, mga seamen, seawomen, seafarers, general work, administrative. Then, food and beverage. Yan. Mga restaurants, service crew. Yan. Mga F&B. Tapos, yung top 10 countries of deployment as of January 2018. So, saan maraming pinapadala? Top 10 ang Taiwan, then Malaysia, New Zealand. Normally, yung mga narinig ko sa New Zealand, yung mga blue-collar jobs. So, mga electricians, laborers, farmers, yan. Then USA, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. So, from top 6 to 1, lahat po yan ay part ng Middle East. So, yan. So, tingnan nyo, taas sa Saudi Arabia, talagang sa Saudi Arabia marami nagpupunta ng mga OFWs. Kasi maraming job openings. So, yan. So, ano naman yung top 10 countries Filipinos would like to work in? So, ito naman, kumbaga, choice naman ng mga Filipinos na gusto nila dito sila magtrabaho. So, number 1 is Macau. Number 2 is South Korea. Siguro, alam ko, nag-trigger dito sa South Korea is yung pagiging K-pop fans ng mga Filipinos, especially ng mga millennials at mga Korean novellas. Then, Qatar is top 3. Bahrain, top 4. Top 5 is Japan. Then, UAE. Then North America, so that includes USA and Canada. Then Europe, Singapore, then Australia and New Zealand. So yan yung mga countries Filipinos would like to work in. So nasa conclusion na tayo. So we are at the end of our module discussion. So after knowing the career options you may pursue, as well as the factors that might influence you. So that is our self-interest, family, peers, the socio-economic status, and the media, especially the social media. So you will now be ready to make the decision by asking yourself the following questions. So number 1, what is really your main consideration in choosing your future career? So ano nga ba yung consideration nyo kung bakit ito yung gusto nyong i-pursue na career? Question number 2, what can help you to be more certain with your future career? So ano yung mga dapat yung i-consider para maging sigurado kayo doon sa profession na pipiliin nyo? Ano yung mga considerations nyo? Siyempre, finances is one of it. Kung ano yung somehow kakayanin ng family to support you, at kung kakailanganin na kung hindi sapat yung maitutulong ng family, ano yung magiging pwede mong pasukang trabaho habang nag-aaral ka para matugunan yung pangangailangan mo sa iyong chosen career. Then number 3, and last question, how can you help yourself to pursue your future career? So yun, kumbaga hindi lang nagdidepende sa kung anong matutulong ng family, kung ano rin yung pwede mong magawa para matupad yung career mo or makuha yung professional career na gusto mo sa buhay. So in my case, during my time, since I love math, dalawa lang yung nasasuggest sa akin na profession. It's either an engineer, at yan yung highly recommended ng lahat ng makakakilala sa akin, then accountant. So sa case ko, nung first year high school, nagkaroon kami ng subject na drafting. So meaning, drawing. So doon ko, nalaman ko na hindi ako into drawing. Wala akong talent sa pagdodrawing. At kasama ang pagdodrawing sa engineering, especially civil engineering. Kaya doon pa lang, alam ko na sa sarili ko na hindi ako for engineer. Kaya ang napili ko, second best option, pero actually, isa rin naman siya sa mga topmost option for me, is accountant, na na-influence din ng aking panganay na kapatid dahil yun yung kanyang kurso na kinuha. So, accounting graduate yung aking panganay na ate. So, yun. At since ang DLSUD is one of the top performing schools for an accounting profession, DS accountancy, kaya ano na rin ako, parang na-affirm na rin ako in my chosen career, yung pagiging accountant. So, BS accountancy, Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. So, yan. So, yung sa second question, what helps me to be more certain in my career? So, importante yung school. So, kaya ngayon pa lang, kung nakapili na kayo ng professional career, pag-isipan nyo na kung ano yung mga top performing school that caters your profession. So, pag sinabing engineering, So kilala ang Mapua, that's number 1 sa engineering. Pagka-law, you can go to UP, Ateneo, or San Beda. Yan yung mga top schools sa law. Medical field, especially pagiging doctor. So we have Ateneo and PLM, Pamantasan Luzon ng Manila. Then for the nurses, we have UST. So yan yung mga top performing schools sa mga ganong professions. Kaya ang first step sa inyo, isisipin nyo kung ano yung profession na gusto nyo. Nakikita nyo yung sarili nyo na yun yung ginagawa. Then after that, piliin nyo yung mga schools na nagbibigay ng magandang education in relation to the profession that you want. Yan. Kasi malaki yung contribution ng school. So like sa case ko, since LaSalle Dasma is one of the top performers in accountancy, matindi yung screening namin. So sa first year college, first sem, we have three sections and around 50 students. So we are around 150 students. Pagdating ng second sem, first year, we are down to 1 section. So ganun yung screening. So 1 section is around less than 50 students. Then, second year college, first sem, nahati na naman yun. Nahati na naman yung students. So mga around 20 students na lang kami. So hanggang pagdating ng second year, second sem, then pagpasok ng third year, first sem, we are down to 12. So 12 na lang kami naiwan, yung mga regular students. So 12 hanggang mga ilan sa amin, mga bumabagsak sa mga subjects, siguro mga 3 siguro yung mga bumabagsak sa amin sa subjects, pero pwede namang mag-retake. Kaya nakagraduate kaming lahat, 12 lang kami na nakagraduate. At nung nag-take ng board exam, yung mga nag-take ng board exam, out of 12, 11 kaming mga pasado nun, mga CPAs na kami. So yung isa, natakot na siya, ayaw niya nang mag-take ng exam. Pero alam naman namin that he can do it. So yun. So ganun ka-importante yung school. Kaya kahit cum laude ka ng whatever school, pero kung hindi ganun kalakas, katindi yung school na pinupuntahan mo or yung pinag-aaralan mo, wala siyang bearing. Kasi marami kaming mga naging kaklase sa review school who are magna cum laudes or cum laudes of their school. Pero since hindi ganun katibay yung educational system nila with the profession, hindi sila pumasa ng board exam. So yun. Kaya importante po yung school. Ngayon pa lang in-encourage ko kayo to really think of the school. Kasi malaki po yung tulong ng school para sa profession na tatahakin. Then for the third question, how can I help myself in the pursuit of my future career? So syempre, number 1, studying well. Importante po yun. So hindi requirement na mag-honor tayo if ever hindi natin talaga kakayanin. Pero what's important is pumapasa tayo at may natututunan tayo. So yun. At syempre, kasama din yan sa case ko nga na hindi rin naging sapat yung finances ng family to support me in my education, ay nag-working student ako. So I applied for scholarship as a student assistant at yun po yung nakatulong para sa aking pagtatapos ng pag-aaral. So yan. So, yun yung 3 questions that you have to ask yourself. So, sa pagnanamnam nyo ng mga tanong na yun, ready na ba kayo? So, can I see the hands of those na somehow masasabi nila na ready na sila to know their profession, to discern their profession? Teacher Lani, meron ba mga nagtaas ng kamay somehow?
Isa pa lang po yan, si David. Ayan, si Joanne.
Ayan. Okay lang naman yun.
Yung iba nag-iisip-isip pa yata.
Okay lang yun. So hopefully sa mga inputs na naibato ko sa inyo, ay makatulong yun sa pagdedesisyon nyo. So you can consider the influencers that we have, your interest, our family, your peers, the socio-economic status, and the media, especially the social media. At pwede nyo rin po i-consider yung mga naibigay ko sa inyo na mga somehow ideas on how to do it. Then, again, make sure na kapag nakapag-decide na kayo somehow sa profession na gusto nyo kuhanin, consider the school. So, malaking tulong po ang isang magandang school para matupad natin yung ating mga professions, matupad ang ating mga professions. At doon sa nagsabi who wanted to be an entrepreneur in the future, actually, yan yung parang observation ko lang nakakulangan ng ating educational system na kasi we are studying for us to be a good employer. So, trabahante, yun yung somehow inclination. Siguro 70% of what we are learning from the school is teaching us on how to be an employer or an employee, an employee. Konti lang sa mga subjects natin, yung tinuturuan tayo para maging businessman or businesswoman or entrepreneur. At yun yung kailangan na ma-develop sa atin. Kasi sabi nga nila, I don't know kung narinig nyo na, walang yumayaman na empleyado. So walang yumayaman na empleyado. Dapat talaga may sarili kang business, maliit man yan, pero enough to sustain your needs and your future families, especially to those who are called to be into a married life. Pero matagal pa yan, malayo pa sa inyo. So yan, at ano pa bang mga inputs yung pwede kong ma-share sa inyo? So about social media, nabanggit kanina. So we have to be careful with our social media. So ayusin nyo yung setting, security setting ng social media nyo, especially ng Facebook. I think that is number one social media platforms of the millennials. So make sure na maayos yung ating Facebook. Kung hindi maayos ngayon pa lang, gumawa na kayo ng panibagong Facebook na medyo formal. So yan din yung sinuggest kanina sa video natin. At ano pa ba? Kung TikTokers tayo, so make sure na behave tayo sa pagti-TikTok natin. Or kung hindi masyadong behave, at least hindi masyadong nakakatakot yung ating TikTok. Or if we are vlogger, ganun din. Kasi pwedeng maging yan ang pagkuha na ng information ng mga future employers natin, yung mga mag-hire sa atin, yung mga social media platforms and accounts na meron tayo. And yung email address, so make sure that you have a formal email address kasi doon pa lang makikita na if you are serious sa inyong profession. So like in my case, ang pangalan ng Yahoo account ko is my name. So C. Lejana Jr. Yung iba, may mga na-encounter ako na mga accounts, email accounts, ang email account ay Blue Shawarma. Ano ba? May dalawa ako na-encounter na natawa ako eh. Whitebird. Yung mga ganun na mga email addresses. So, pwede nyo siguro gawin yun kung informal lang. Pero pag maghahanap kayo ng trabaho, make sure that you have a formal email address name. Yan. Kasi doon pa lang makikita na nila that you are professional. Tapos, ano pa ba? Confidence. So, very important yun. Kaya, you really have to know yourself. Self-awareness na nakita natin with our Module 5. Very important yun. That you know yourself, you love yourself, and you believe in yourself. Kasi yun yung lalabas na personality nyo. If you are confident with what you know, kahit hindi nyo pa masyadong alam, pero confident ka sa sarili mo na alam mo na matututunan mo rin. So, very important yun. At, syempre, kailangan din natin isa puso at isa isip na yung success, it is not actually measured by the physical things, material things that we have. Kung may sarili kang bahay, kotse, what have you, magandang trabaho talaga, mataas na position sa trabaho. Success is not limited to that. Success is about leaving a legacy of love. Yung inspiration na maibibigay mo, especially with our families, kasi sila yung unang na-encounter natin sa buhay natin, then to our friends, then to our neighbors, or to our followers, social media followers. So yun yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. Yung legacy na maiiwan nyo. At kumbaga, because of that legacy, palagi kayong maiisip, palagi kayong maaalala ng mga taong mga buhay ay na-influensyahan natin positively. So yan. So, bago tayo tuloy ang magtapos, ay panoorin natin ang video na ito. Ayan. So that is about the vision board. So dream board na meron tayo. So napaka-importante yan. Minsan natitake lang natin siya for granted. Kumbaga parang just to fulfill the obligation that we have on the school or with the module na kailangan natin siyang gawin. Pero in reality, very important yan, yung vision board. So kumbaga if you have chance na may magazine kayo or newspaper or what have you na pwede nyong gupitin, para mag-reflect kung anong gusto nyo sa sarili nyo na nakikita nyo in the future, you visualize yourself to be in the future. So how would you look like? So imagine niyo siya as you look on the future. So ano kaya yung pinagkakaabalahan or pagkakaabalahan nyo in the future na nakikita nyo na masaya kayo? And how do you feel about your status at that time? So ayan, i-visualize nyo siya and make your own future self portrait. So in a simple board, if you have your own room, so pwede nyo ilagay yan sa dingding nyo, sa wall ng inyong kwarto, or kung sa bahay lang kayo, yung simple lang yung bahay nyo, wala kayong sariling kwarto, pwede nyo rin yung ilagay somewhere as part of display. Pero it is a reminder to you na ito yung gusto ko for myself. Ganito ko nakikita yung sarili ko. And every time na magpapass by kayo doon, or siguro maging practice din natin na tingnan nyo yung daily, makikita nyo na this is my dream. And with the help of God and with my help in myself, ay matutupad ko itong pangarap na ito. At walang imposible dahil ito yung gusto ko for myself. At nakikita ko with this future self. You may also, that will remind you how to be happy. So gaya na nabanggit hands, para every time na maka-experience ka ng sadness, maybe, kasi normal naman yun na maka-experience tayo ng sadness. So every time na gagawin nyo yung routine na yun, yung gesture na yun, ma-remind ka to be happy. So magandang maging practice din yun. So you have your dream board or your vision board that you have, and yung mga gestures that will remind you to be happy, to be positive, to be optimistic in life. Para lahat, God's willing, ay mangyari sa atin as we dream it to be. So yan, and with our last video, let me share this for you. So we should dream big. So wag nating limitahan yung sarili natin na mangarap ng mataas at ng malaki. So naalala ko rin habang pinapanood ko yung video na yun, na nung kami, when we graduated sa school, sa college, and we pursued reviewing sa review school in preparation for the board exam, sinabi sa amin ng mga professors namin that we should dream big, that we should aim high. Kasi dapat ang maging target namin is to be top 1 in the board exam. Para kung hindi mo ma-achieve na mag-top 1 ka, pwede kang maging top 2. Kung hindi mo kaya maging top 2, magiging top 3 ka. Top 4, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, hindi ka man maging top, pero pasado ka. So ganun dapat yung ating maging perspective sa buhay. We should dream big, we should aim high, because we have a big God. So yun yung lagi nating panghawakan. Dream big, aim high, because we have a big God who loves us so much. So kung sa Module 4, Module 5 kanina, naging assignment natin na mag-isip ng kahit 5 ways na natutunan nyo in your life experience para magamit nyo in the future. And we are called to be an overcomer. Dito naman sa Module 4, sa career influencers, ang challenge naman sa atin is, yung assignment natin is to build the dream board or the vision board that we have. At kung again, sa 5, we are called to be an overcomer. In Module 4, we are called to be a dreamer. For that, that's the end of the sessions. So may mga questions po ba? And hopefully may mga natutunan po. Questions or clarifications?
Okay. May mga tanong pa ba? Any clarifications? So siguro naman sa dami ng inputs na binigay ni Kuya Conrad at mga videos, very inspirational. So na-inspire tayo, hindi lang kayo bilang estudyante. So parang nag-flashback nag-throwback lahat ng simula sa childhood Mga naalala kung ano yung mga pangarap sa buhay. Okay, so kayo naman, on your part, being the millennials, so ngayon pa lang, as early as now, although kayo ay nasa grade 10 pa lang, so pag-isipan ng maigi kung ano yung gusto nyong maging career in the future. Okay? So wala nang clarifications, any other questions? So, ang patatagan. Kanina out of 24 yata tayo, so naging 13 na lang. Bumigay na yung mga internet connections, cellphone. Okay, so 13 na lang ang matatag. Okay, so I would like to congratulate everyone. Yung 13 ba, less kaming dalawa ni Kuya Conrad. So 11 na lang na estudyante na matatag. Simula 1 o'clock. Actually, si Kuya Conrad, wala pa yatang breakfast yan. Kasi 12 na ba sa inyo, Kuya?
Bali lunchtime na.
12 o'clock na.
Mm-hmm.
Yun. So, nagpang-abot na yung breakfast ni Kuya at ang kanyang lunch. Pero, ganun pa man, so, napakalaki ng effort na binigay ng time ni Kuya Conrad para ma-share sa inyo yan. So, I hope hindi masayang. Sana naging inspiration na sa kabila ng problema, hirap ng online learning, sa part nyo bilang estudyante na minsan pag busy kami sa mga report, most of the time asynchronous na kayo na nagsi-self-study, kayo na nagsasagot ng hindi nadidiscusan. So sana kayanin pa rin. Okay? So at natutuwa ako sa nakikita kong effort ng bawat isa sa inyo. Sabi ko nga wala akong masyadong problema. Swerte ako sa advisory class ko, Kuya. Okay, so advisory class ko kasi itong Molabe. So napakadalang mag-report ng mga subject teachers nila ng mga problema. Yung talagang mga batang hindi na lang talaga uma-attend. Pero the rest, talagang well appreciated sila ng kanilang mga teachers. So konsuelo na lang yun sa akin bilang advisor. Okay. So before we end this session, so gusto namang i-appreciate yung effort ni Kuya Conrad by means of this simple certificate to be awarded. So, nakikisuyo na ako kay David. David, pa-share ng ating simple certificate as appreciation and recognition na rin for the effort ni Kuya Conrad. After this, wag muna maglibha, magpipicture taking pa tayo. Okay, so let me read the content of the certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 4A, Calabarzon, Division of Cavite, Bulihan Integrated National High School, Bulihan Silang, Cavite, awards this certificate of recognition to Conrado E. Lihana Jr. for sharing his valuable personal insights, experiences, and expertise as resource speaker on Module 4, My Career Influencers, and Module 5, Overcoming Life's Challenges of Our Homeroom Guidance subject for Grade 10. Given this 26th day of March in the year of our Lord 2021, signed by yours truly, Melanie B. Insigne, teacher and advisor. So thank you very much, Kuya Conrad. Ang token to follow na lang. Usap na lang tayo.
Maraming
Okay, so
salamat.
blessed kami for having you, Kuya Conrad, despite of your busy schedule. So maraming salamat. Na-reschedule pa ang ating session, pero through God's will, so hindi niya pinayagan na hindi natin matapos ngayon ang session. Okay, so thank you very much, Kuya Conrad, for the time and effort.
Yan. So maraming salamat at sa lahat ng mga students na kinayanan ng internet. So ganun din dun sa iba na kanina nakinig. So maraming salamat for the opportunity to share my life to you. And hopefully, again, may maiwang kaunting inspiration sa inyo so that magamit nyo in some future time, especially in the career that you will be pursuing. So just continue learning, napaka-importante yan. At huwag niyong papabayaan ang relasyon sa Panginoon kasi napaka-importante din yan para malaman niyo kung ano yung mga tama at mga mali sa buhay. Again, just continue to love yourself kasi you are deserved to be loved. And dream big, aim high, be an overcomer, be a dreamer. So yun po.
Okay, so sabi nga dun sa diniscuss ni Kuya Conrad, yung vision board, masaya tayo, pwede daw mag-spray ng perfume para every time maaamoy natin yung perfume na yan, so we are being reminded that we are happy or we will become happy. Okay? O, sige, so plus picture. Picture taking na tayo, David. Okay ba yung net, David? Ayan. So, congratulations sa inyong 10 or 11. Parang last man standing last man standing, men and women. So, iilan na lang. Yung iba nagsiinit na daw ang devices and gadgets. So, picture taking na tayo. Pa-on ng camera. Jenny, Bianica, Jason, Leanne. Sayang yung chance. Kayo ang pinakamatatag. Jason, Bianica, Raisa. Walang cam si Bianica. Okay. O, sige, David. Okay na yan.
1, 2, 3. Diba po?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kuya Conrad.
Salamat din.
Ingat. Thank
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Stay safe and healthy sa lahat.
Thank you po, ma'am. Goodbye po.
Okay.
God bless po. God bless.
it. Go pop it for me. Pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for me. Drop it for me. I'll bet some beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lost the temper dinner. Julio shot that jammy. Got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. If you want it. Jump in the Cadillac. Girls, put some girls on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. Strawberry champagne on this. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by fire at night. Some sheets and diamonds all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Talking trips to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my flica. Girl, I'll be a flica. Mama, sister, I will never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't gonna never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris. Every day 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror. Now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me? Say it's us. Say it's us. And I'll agree. Jump in the Cadillac. Girls, put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on this. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by the fire at night. Some sheets and diamonds all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Say you want a good time. Hear me, baby. Hear me, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Say it to me. You're mine. Girl, come and get it. All this is here for you. Tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. What you gonna do? Come on, baby, shine bright. Strawberry champagne. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. Sex by the fire. Diamonds all night. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. What y'all trying to do? Turn on the magic in the air. Showtime, guess who's back again? Y'all talk, but they know as soon as we walk in. I'm wearing Cuban links, yeah, sign on mix, yeah, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Know that you can color red the blue. Shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. Some of the pretty girls around me and they're picking up the pocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. See before they open you. Keep up. Hands on there. Come on. Put your pinky rings up to the moon. What y'all trying to do? Turn on the magic in the air. Here's to super. Look out. Second verse for the hustlers, gangsters, bad bitches and your ugly ass friends. Can I breathe? I cannot breathe. I gotta show them how I can get it in. First, take your shit, do your thing, spend your money like money ain't shit. Ooh, too fresh, just a minute on Jesus. Hashtag blessed, anything for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rock. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be just